Thank you. A very good afternoon to one and all present here. Uh, we are on day 6 of our FDP. It has been a wonderful journey so far, and we've heard from various stalwarts of the subject. For today's FDP, to introduce our resource person and to take us further into discussion, I invite Dr. Shailaja, Head of Department Humanities from St. Paul's College, to introduce the guest as well as render the welcome address. Dr. Shailaja, over to you.
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible? Saranya, ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are. You may proceed.
Okay, ma'am. Yes. So, very good afternoon to one and all present here. So this is a series of FDP which we are organized in association with MCC College. So for the day we have Dr. K.A. Azrar Ahmed. So it is a very pleasure for me to introduce today's guest. So Dr. K.A. Azrar Ahmed is currently working as an assistant professor at the Xavier's Institute of Management and Entrepreneurship, Bangalore. He is currently teaching courses like business analytics using R, Excel, SPSS, marketing research using R, Excel, digital marketing and production and operation management. He pursued his PhD from Vellore Institute of Technology University, and his areas of expertise in business analytics, data science using R, business research methods, econometrics, R, statistics, data visualization using Tableau, statistical package for social science, SPSS, and marketing research using R, Excel. So he is highly experienced in demonstrating data science using R, Excel, SPSS, machine learning using R, marketing analytics using R, Excel, SPSS, structural equation modeling using Lizral, Amos, Smart PLS, and R software packages like PLSPM and SEM PLS. He has conducted several workshops on statistics and data science using the same softwares. He has received Active Researcher Award in Vellore Institute of Technology University and Madanapalli University of Technology and Sciences. He is an active researcher and has published several national and international journals. To name a few, determinants of M, ticketing adoption using smartphone app among IT employees of Bangalore City, an extended UTA UT2 approach. And to name another one, determinants of smart watch adoption among IT professional, an extended UTA UT2 model for smartwatch enterprise is listed in Australian Business Deans Council, B category. So it's a pleasure, sir. We are having you today for our FDP. So over to you, sir. All of us are eagerly waiting to hear from you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Very good afternoon to all of you. First of all, I would like to thank management of St. Paul's College and Mount Carmel College and the management of such events, and also my colleague Dr. Satish for informing about this event. So we'll start our day 6 session with these topics. I think yesterday session we have already covered what is regression, how to do regression analysis and correlation analysis. And there are a few extra little add-ons to be done in that linear regression. So we have to also check the multicollinearity concept. I don't know whether it was covered yesterday. I'm not aware of what is the coverage yesterday. We'll just have some introduction about that. Then how to deal with dummy variables in regression. Okay. Then followed by the main purpose of today is mediation and moderation. So what is meant by mediation and how we can perform and how to interpret those data for publishing the papers in social science and business research. Okay. So we'll start with just a small revision about regression. Like yesterday, we have already covered that. So my PPT is visible, right? PowerPoint is visible. Okay. So as you all know, yesterday we saw that when do we go for linear regression? The linear regression approach we use when we have a continuous dependent variable. That is, our dependent variable should be continuous, and independent variable we can have in any form like categorical or continuous. Okay. So yesterday you might have seen this equations y is equal to a plus bx. Okay. So y is nothing but your dependent variable, x is nothing but your independent variable. Okay. The major purpose in social science and business research we use regression is to identify the relationship and the impact of each independent variable over dependent variable. That is the major purpose we use this regression application in social science research and business research. So this is the basic background behind the regression. This example, if you have seen this example here, y and x axis, why the axis, the straight line is not in the zero? What is the understanding of intercept? The y is all about y-axis is all about salary, and x-axis is all about the number of experience an employee have, 1 year, 2 year experience. Can anybody tell me like why? What is mean by intercept here? How should we understand that?
Participants can respond via chat.
Oh, audio is okay. Audio is not okay.
So
Fine.
you want me to get them to please speak it on audio? I can do that. Would you prefer that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That will be.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, someone has given answer in chat box. Yes, you're absolutely right. So it is.
Sir, we are having participant unmuted to respond to your question.
Yeah. You can do
Yes,
that.
sir.
Yeah. I think
Good
Neman
afternoon, sir.
is responding, one of the faculty.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, sir. Here intercept means already why have that
Please go ahead.
sorry.
May I, sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Intercept is a value when your x is 0, the value of y.
Correct. Now that is technically correct. Now, how should I understand this one?
Yes, sir.
From
In
the-
this example, we can understand by salary and experience. You can get a salary with 0 experience. That is your intercept.
That's what. So this is one of the famous example. Yes, you're absolutely right. So this is one of the easiest example we use to explain the regression. So nobody will have work for free. So that is the point of intersection, which is intercept. And each year of experience change will cause your change in salary. As your experience increases, your salary will increase. So that is nothing but a slope. So that is how mathematically that straight line equation works. So that is the basic thing which we saw yesterday. And multiple regression comes out when you have more than one or two independent variables. Okay, more than one independent variables. So for example, here you can see we have to the dependent variable is price here. Okay, in this example. So the independent variables are number of bedrooms the house has. Okay, size of the house, and income of that locality area of the people, okay, those who are living nearby that apartment, and appeal of the house, how the appealing of the house, like what are the features available in the house. So those factors can be taken as independent variable, and price can be determined using these factors. So when you have more than one independent variable, we go for multiple regression. Yesterday was a multiple regression concept covered. It was well explained, I think so, yesterday, right? Up to multiple regression. Okay. Did the concept of multicollinearity was discussed? If it is discussed, then we'll go to mediation and moderation, if it is so.
Dr. Babu, could you please respond to that?
It's given in the topic. I think he has covered, he has not covered multicollinearity, sir.
Okay, okay, sir, no problem.
He has covered only the regression model with the multi-regression. That's it.
Right, right. So most of us, those who are in teaching line or in college, they all have to publish papers. Especially a lot of you, a lot of scholars and post-graduation students nowadays. The research has become one important aspect, even in their MCOM project or say MBA project, or we say MSc Social Science project. We have to submit a dissertation. And also there are some colleges which demands for publication of some papers in the postgraduate as well as at the MPhil and PhD level, especially in social science. So that time, most of the time, what we do is we do the regression and we don't interpret properly, or say we don't give some side proofs, what we say, the relevant proofs for that. So we just draw the regression and we give the output. But apart from that, whenever we go for any analysis, we have to be careful, or say we have to show multicollinearity. Especially when you are applying multiple regression, that time you have to use multicollinearity. Now, what is mean by multicollinearity? It's very simple. Say you have 3 independent variables and 1 dependent variable. Okay, so there should not be high correlation among the independent variable itself. So the multicollinearity occurs due to high correlation among independent variables where the constructs are not unique. Okay, that time what happens is like your entire model gets collapsed, and this really creates a lot of problem in the final interpretation of results, especially if you are carrying forward your research towards structure equation modeling, which is not today's topic. But if you really want to publish a paper with regression, you have to show the multicollinearity aspect. So you can note down this Mayer's 1990, one of the most cited books of regression. Okay, he said that we should avoid multicollinearity when we are doing for multiple regression. And how do we do that? So I'll just show one demo now on how to do that. So this is my one of the sample data set which I'm working on. So here at the bottom, you can see these 4. This price value is my dependent variable. Okay, this is my dependent, and these 3 are independent. I'm just marking them as IV. Okay, so you can imagine any names there. Okay, just for example purpose. From your context of social science, you can keep any name there. IV1, okay, IV2, and IV3, right? So when you have these 4 variables, one is dependent, the other 3 are independent. So to perform regression, what you do is you just simply go to analyze, regression, linear regression. Okay, then you select your dependent on the dependent box and remaining on independent box. Okay, yeah, somebody raised a hand. Yes, you can ask the question. Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes, sir. Yes.
Could have been an error, sir. They
Okay.
might have typed by mistake. Yeah.
Okay. So this is how we do it regression. After selecting independent dependent variable, we click OK. So this is the normal process. We straight away check the ANOVA first, it is significant or not. Then we go to the coefficient table. Then what is the impact of each independent variable, whether they are significant or not. Those things we check here. Okay. So here I don't think anyone is significant at with this example. Okay. So this is how we normally check the regression. Now, before that, we need to check multicollinearity. Now, how to check multicollinearity? Multicollinearity we have to do based on this method, that is variance inflation factor method, which is proposed by Friedman and Mayers. They say that we have to gauge multicollinearity using VIF values. The VIF value should not be more than 10. It should be less than 10. Okay. So how do we perform that multicollinearity test? So this is my SPSS data set. Okay. Now VIF, we have to check VIF values among independent variable itself. Okay. Now how do I do that? Very simple. Go to analyze, regression, linear regression. Okay. Here you keep aside your dependent variable. Okay. First, you take one independent variable as dependent and compare with others. And in options here, in the right side, the options, you have to select this one, statistics. Yeah, in statistics option, you have to take this collinearity diagnostics. Okay, I repeat, for multicollinearity test, to check the VIF values, variance inflection factor values, you have to check each independent variable as making them as dependent variable. For example, regression, linear. Now see here, I'm not bringing the, I'll just reset this. Don't worry about dependent variable. These three are independent variable, right? So make one independent variable as dependent, the other two as independent. Okay. Click on statistics, click collinearity diagnostics. Okay. Then click continue and click OK. Now you can see here, we have chosen MHM IV1. Okay, what is the VIF value? I'll just use the marker here. What is the VIF value for IV1? For IV2, what is the VIF value? It should be less than 10. Okay, there are some recent papers or recent research paper which says that it should be less than 5, but I don't want to confuse with that. But while writing interpretation, you have to cite those Friedman and Mayers. Okay, so for one independent variable, we have checked. See here, based on making independent variable one as dependent, we compared with other two. Is there a VIF? There is no VIF. Okay, there is no collinearity issues. Right. Similarly, we have to do it for other independent variable as well. So same process, you just need to replace, bring independent variable back to independent variable column, take second independent variable as dependent now. Okay, take second independent variable as dependent, the other independents, bring them back to independent column. Okay, here we are not touching the study dependent variable. Okay, so just cross check whether it is tick mark collinearity diagnostics. Yes, it is tick mark. Click OK. Now go back and check whether the VIF values are less than 10. They are less than 10. Okay, so there should not be more than, okay, there should not be more than 10. That you have to make sure. And references, you can give Friedman, Mayers, and if you just type about multicollinearity in Google Scholar, you will get a lot of references to that. Okay, these are some of the highly cited journals. Okay, so similarly, you can perform the same process for other independent variables. So just to say in your paper that there is no multicollinearity. These are all tables you can make as an arrangement. Okay, you can copy paste, combine them in a single table, and you can show it in your research paper or in your MS project or in your MSc social science project, anywhere. Okay, so that is the methodology, right? Now that is all about multicollinearity. Any doubts with multicollinearity? We'll move to the next topic if there is no doubt. Are you clear with how to perform it in SPSS? Anybody has any questions? Please comment here. Okay, fine.
In case participants have any specific questions, you can type them in the chat box, please. You have like a minute or two to do this. so that the resource person can proceed if there are no further questions. We'll take a minute if you have any questions.
Yeah, 1 minute, madam. I request also the participant, don't send the good afternoon, those messages, because we couldn't see the chat box question. So I request, no need to wish. Our wishes always will be there with you. So thank you very much, because we couldn't see the other questions here. That's what we disabled the chat box. Now we activated it. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. There are
Yes.
two questions.
Two questions, sir.
Yes, ma'am. I'm responding to that. One question is, do we have to do it for all independent variable? Yes. You just keep aside your dependent variable. You have to take each independent variable as dependent and perform and check the VAF values. And the second question they are asking is about whether what if VAF values are more than 10? If VAF values are more than 10, there is a multicularity presence. There is a presence of multicularity. That means the independent variable 1 and independent variable 2, any one of the independent variable, 2 independent variables are highly correlated, which should not be the case. Statistically, that is not correct. Each independent variable is unique. In analysis of multiple regression as well as structure equation modeling, each independent variable should be unique. So that is why we should look for VAF. If it is more, you have to delete one of the independent variable. Okay, that is the answer, right? So interpretation. Okay, interpretation. Okay, I'll show interpretation once we move on to the next topic. Okay, we have to just copy this table. I have just a minute. I'll share one more screen where interpretation is there. 1 minute. I'll share the screen. Just 1 minute. I am opening that file. Yes, I have got it. Yes. So you can see the screen. Can you see the screen? See here, these all are independent variables. Okay, this HM, MSc, HAP, PE, ESI. Okay, up to here, right? In one side, when they were taken as dependent variable, what was the VAF values towards other independent variable? Okay, let me use the marker here. See here, same independent variables. Okay, in this row wise they are in dependent variable. Okay, vertically they are independent variable. Okay, so when they were as independent variable and dependent variable, what was the VAF values? Okay, like that similarly for others. So you can cross check this table. There will be none of the values will be above 10. Okay, if there is above 10, then there is a what to say, there is a presence of collinear, multicollinear. Okay, so this is how we interpret. I mean, like this is how we show it in paper, and the interpretation part. Yeah, you can see here how I have written the interpretation. Okay, the degree to which has been increased because presence of collinearity. Okay, like this references you can give. This is actually for SEM. This reference is for structure equation modeling, but you can use this one also. There is nothing wrong. You can use Friedman and Mayers, which I showed you there, because they have spoken more about regression than SEM model. Okay, so you can see here VAF value should be less than 10 because for SEM, Hare et al. Has said it should be less than 10. Okay, that's what I said. There is a slight difference with the references. But Mayers and Friedman, they say it can be up to 10. Okay, so this is just a small interpretation. You have to show it with the table. That's all. Okay, I hope you are clear with that. Right. Now, coming back to the next topic. Coming back to the next topic, that is, I think Dr. Satish has explained about R-square. Okay, so R-square, I just wanted to show one, just one interpretation part, that is, yes. If you can able to read the screen here, okay. If my PDF is visible, R-square explanation yesterday, I think Dr. Satish might have given. How to interpret that is, it is called coefficient of determination. Okay, as a measure of models predictive accuracy, it is calculated as. So this is a definition we have given as definition. Now there is a thumb rule for it. R-square values. Okay, the R-square values. How do we interpret whether the model is very good or model is weak or having a strong, how the model is good, medium or bad? Okay, so the rule of thumb says if the R-square value is above 0.75, it is the strongest model. Okay, most of the social science studies, we don't get much above 0.5 or 0.6. In some cases we get it, but not in all cases. Okay, so that's why the minimum limit, it says, even in social science research, the R-square value should be at least 0.25 or above. Okay, that's how this is actually old article, this 2011. Now recently Hare et al. In 2021, Hare and Ringley, and there are 3-4 authors. They have recently given one more article where they say the minimum R-square should be at least 0.25. Okay, those articles and all, I will share it in a bundle. All my PPTs and the reference articles and all, I will share it in particular mail. From there, you can get it from the management of St. Paul's College. Okay, so this is one of the thing I wanted to discuss. Then you all know how to draw a model, right? So what do you understand from this model here? With this given model, any idea like what interpretation by looking at this? What is your idea? Like, what is your understanding? Anybody? Anyone can give in a message chat box, or anything is fine. What is the
Hello, sir.
understand? Yes, yes, please.
So what I understand is brand advertising and price influence 74% of the purchase intention of the customer, and the influence of advertising is the one that's significant, and the others, I think it's non-significant.
Exactly. So that is absolutely right. So in paper, whenever you are doing a regression in dissertation or paper, you please frame your hypothesis and you have to interpret in this way. Okay. So similarly, the same thing. Hypothesis 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. R-square value, just a sample. I'm showing it how to give a hypothesis framework. So the purchase intention is a dependent variable. Whether enjoyment has some impact, whether knowledge of the product has an impact, price of the product, personality. Okay, word of mouth. The WM is positive word of mouth. Trust and have is nothing but a habit. So this is just an example sake. This is how we draw the model. Okay, we have to mention in this way whether which independent variable is significant and which independent variable is not significant. Okay, that is one of the method. Now, coming to the regression analysis with categorical independent variable. Okay, now what happens is, so far what we have seen is both variables are independent as well as dependent variables are were in scale. So for that scale type of questions, we can easily perform regression and there will be no problem. But what in case if you want to include your independent variable as what we say as a categorical, in the sense, say how can you check regression for gender relationship towards customer loyalty? Okay, say customer loyalty is your dependent variable. Okay, you want to take gender as a IV. Okay, so in this case, what happens in your data? It is not in scale format, right? I have one example data set here. So you can see here in the screen, this gender is not in a scale form. It is male are coded as 1 and female are coded as 2. Okay, so how to deal with such cases when you want to do regression? Okay, it's very simple. There is a concept called dummy variable creation. Okay, a dummy variable is a numerical variable used in regression analysis to represent the subgroups of the sample. Okay, so whenever your independent variable is categorical, okay, I think in the day 1 and day 2, there were a lot of discussion about what is data types, what is meant by continuous data, and what is meant by categorical data. Okay, so when your independent variable is in categorical form, at that time we actually use the dummy variable concept. Now, how to do that in regression? Okay, you can take screenshots, okay, wherever required. So say apart from these 3 independent variables, okay, I wanted to take gender as one more independent variable, okay, for my regression analysis. So same procedure, analyze, regression. But before that, gender isn't categorical, right? So I have to convert them into dummy variable, right? So go to transform. In SPSS version 22, above 22, I think, yeah, SPSS version 22 above, all other recent SPSS versions have this option. The SPSS old versions like 2019, 18, those softwares versions doesn't have this what is a option called create dummy variables. Okay, so what we can do is we can just click on this create dummy variables. Now, which one you want to make as a dummy variable? With gender, right? So take gender. Sorry, yeah. So here you can give root name as gender again. You can give any name. I'm just giving as gender name. Okay. So I'm not doing anything here. Just I passed on the variable which I wanted to make as dummy variable. Okay. So just I tick mark. I just wrote gender here, and you click OK. I think there is already a name in place of that. So what we can do, we can just give some extra name there. Okay. So there should not be a same name. Okay. It will not take. Okay. Now the gender name, you can see here, it is created. Okay. Now what happens is the moment you create dummy variable, when you go back and check your data view, okay, you can see here 8931 is male and 8932 is female. That answer is here. You can rename it, or you can name it in some other format, no problem. It says that in dummy variable your gender 8931 means male, okay, gender 8932 means female, right? Now these two dummy variables are there. Now how to take this into regression? You all know the process: analyze, regression, linear regression, right? Now already our dependent variable is this one, price value. Okay, these other 3 are independent variables. Now what happens is, you can see here the newly created dummy variables are available here. Okay, so what you can do, you have to take either one, okay, any one as your in your independent variable. Okay, what happens in dummy variable concept is, one particular group goes as a reference, the other becomes dummy variable. Okay, I'll explain you how. So either I'm just passing male here. Okay, Okay, then click OK. Now you can see the interpretation. The same interpretation remains for others. Okay, this interpretation is same. Okay, we see the this thing significance level and we decide. Okay, none of them are significant here. But now what does it mean? First of all, we need to check whether it is significant or not. It is not significant here. Okay, and we have to check this value. Suppose in some case, if this becomes significant, okay, less than 0.05, then how do you say that whether male having impact or female having impact? When it is significant, you have to look at these values. If there is a minus sign, that means the male has lower, lower impact on dependent variable than female. Okay. Or if it is in not significant, then that means neither male nor female, both doesn't have any significant impact on the dependent variable. Okay. So I'll just show one more example with the same data for 3 groups. So far we have seen 2 groups, right? What in case of 3 groups? Okay, analyze, regression, linear regression. This time I'm not taking gender. Okay, what I'll do is I'll take this time I'll take qualification. Okay, there are 6 type of qualification. Okay, IT, diploma, undergraduate, postgraduate. Okay, so I will take this as my dummy variable now. Or else I'll take something which has 4 groups. Okay, I'll take income because it has 4 groups. Otherwise, we have to, the interpretation will be long. Okay, we'll take some simple. So there are 4 groups now in income. So I want to include this in regression. Okay, so first transform, create dummy variables. Now gender we have already made it. Where is the income? Income is here. Just bring them here. Write some name as income cat or something, which is not, it should not be similar. Click OK. Now income category 1 belongs to 10,000 to 20,000. Okay, income category 2 belongs to 21 to 30,000, like that. Now 4 groups are there. Same method, when you want to include it in regression, go to regression, linear. Okay, we don't want gender this time. See here, there are 4 groups. You have to take any 3 groups. If there are 5 groups, you have to take 4. One will go as a reference group. I repeat, whenever you are performing regression with categorical variables, one subgroup goes as a reference. Okay, so you select all the 3. The results will be based on the higher income. Okay, so just pass it on to the right side and click OK. Right now, coefficient table is here. Okay, yes, so these 3 remains the same, we don't touch that. Okay, now what does it mean? Is there anyone significant? Yes, there is significant difference. Okay, which one we left out? Okay, we left out I think high income group. Okay, now how to interpret this? These 3 you already know how to interpret. Okay, you will check significance value. None of them, I think one of them is significant. Okay, and what about income level 10,000 to 20,000? What is the beta value here? This beta value. Okay, B value and beta value. And what is the significance level? Significance level is not less than 0.05. Then don't worry about that. Okay, don't just leave it. What about this one? This is less than 0.05. Okay, this is less than 0.05 and the value is 0.228, that is beta value. And what about this one? 0.3140, there is no minus. Okay, there is no minus. Okay, and what is this? Yeah, this is also less than 0.05. And what is the reference category we have taken? We have taken reference category above 40,000 income people. So the question is, The dependent variable is price value. Okay, price value is significant for 21,000 to 30,000 per month group versus 40,000 group. Okay, that means they have high impact on price value compared to the high income people. High income is 40,000 above, which is clearly seen. There is no minus sign here, right? So these three categories we have to compare with reference category. Reference category here is the high income people, that is above 40,000. So obviously, logically, it is correct, right? The lower income people is not quite seen to be significant in this data, but 20,000 to 30,000 people have higher, what to say, higher impact on price value, and 31 to 40,000 people have furthermore higher impact on price value. Okay, with compared to above 40,000 people. That is what the data says. Okay, that is how we have to compare the categorical independent variable in regression. Any doubts in this? You can give a comment box, or you can speak. Anybody? Anybody? There is no comments. Okay. There is one more thing which we can check from this is yes. Okay. We can just check the me. There is one more method to check that. No, this is not okay. No problem. Right now I'm not getting it. Okay. So actual what I wanted to say was here. Yeah, this table. Why we are taking only 3 groups? Because one group goes as a reference group. Okay, we have to compare those values with reference group. Okay, so if there is a minus sign, that means they are lower than that reference group. If there is a plus sign, that means they have higher impact on dependent variable than the reference category. Okay, so that is how we interpret for categorical variables in regression. Right. Now coming to the next topic. Okay, so the next one is how to perform mediation and moderation. You all can download this process macro add-in. Okay, this I will share this address. You can just copy and paste it in the website. Okay, so when you go to this process macro, it's freely available in website. Okay, this this internet page, sorry, this web page is handled by author called Hayes. Okay, AF Hayes, that is Andrew F. Hayes. He was the one who is the statistician, who is one of the highly cited author for performing moderation, mediation analysis in regression. Okay, he is one of the one who is doing this, and you can press the download button here. Okay, you can press the download button. The exe file will get installed in your system. Then how do you add this into SPSS? That process also I have shown in the slide. After installation, okay, you have to go to the option called extension. Okay, extension is available here. Add-ons. Okay, in some of the recent versions, it is like add-ons. Okay, go to the add-ons. I think We have to go to the utilities here. No. Where did I custom dialogues? Yeah, extended bundles. Yeah, custom dialog builder. Sorry, it actually varies from version to version. Okay, mostly it will be in utilities, custom dialog builder. Okay, from here you have to 1 minute. Extension. Oh, sorry. Extension bundles. Install. Yeah, I think you have to go here, right? Yes, correct. So you have to go to the utilities, extension bundles, and here you have to click on install local extension. Then from here on, you have to select that data set, whichever you have downloaded, that is process. Okay, this process. Okay, this file you have to import. Okay, this is shown as extension utilities install custom dialog. Okay, so that same method I will share this slide. You can see the procedures. Okay, step by step procedure is given. Then you have to go and select like this. Okay. I think here they are saying utilities install custom dialog. Okay, so utilities install custom dialog. Where is that? Install custom dialog. Okay, so this is the method. Here we have to go downloads and then we have to import. So this screenshot is available. You can slowly check that. Okay, right. So that will be the downloaded file. You have to just click on the SPSS and click open. Automatically it will install. Now how that will appear in your SPSS software? Now you can see here analyze option. Okay, regression. You can see here there is a process v point version 3.5. Okay, so like this it will be available. If you check now in your SPSS, it will not be there. Okay, after installing it you will get. So that is the procedure of installation. Okay, now let us go. Why we need this extra add-on? To perform moderation and mediation analysis. Okay, there are a lot of moderation and mediation plays a major role in social science research and management research. Okay, so now what is mean by moderation and mediation? Let us try to understand that. What is mean by moderator? Moderator is nothing but it is a variable which affects the strength of relationship between independent variable and dependent variable. So that violet color, the definition is the real definition of it. So you have to remember that. Okay. It in regression analysis, what happens is when independent variable and dependent variable relationship gets impacted with presence of third variable, that is some third variable as a moderator, that will totally what to say increase or decrease the strength of relationship between independent and dependent variable. Okay, we'll see some examples to understand it in a more clear manner. Okay, moderation, we show it in diagram in this manner. This is the standard practice in statistics. Okay, always for independent variable we call it as x. Okay, x1 x2 x3 for multiple independent variables, y for dependent variable. Okay, for moderation, for easy understanding sake, we call it as w. Okay, w variable is nothing but moderation variables. Okay, now statistically how do we do this? This is nothing but we show it in the right side diagram. Is there no w separate variable, x is a separate variable, then what is the combined x into w, what is the impact on third variable, that is a dependent variable. Okay, while learning moderation you have to also know about the interaction effect. Okay, interaction effect happens when you try to check I think I have to draw that to understand. Yes, so what is mean by interaction? Okay, say your IV1. Okay, this is IV2 and this is your TV. Okay, Now, what happens is sometimes in social science and business research, okay, most of the time, what happens is like when these two independent variables, okay, when they have a relationship, or say when the relationship towards dependent variable is not significant, okay, but when they combinedly, what to say, when they have the effect on dependent variable combinedly, like this one, iv1 into iv2, okay, when they have combined effect, okay, when they are measured separately, it will show as not significant relationship, but when they join together, that uh, there may be a significant effect, so that is interaction effect, is in other words is also called as combined effect, when one variable interacts with the other and gives a combined effect of significant effect on dependent variable, okay. So that is about interaction. Now, coming to the moderator again, there is a only slight difference between moderator and moderation and interaction, okay. Interaction we mostly use it in ANOVA, okay, ANOVA analysis of variance, wherein the term moderation we use it in regression, okay. Now, what are the examples of moderator, okay. Say here, I always tell you that iv means independent variable, dv is dependent variable, okay. So your independent variable is salary and dependent variable is health expenses, okay. Now, how age will moderate, okay, whether number of age will moderate this, okay. For example, salary, okay, salary will not have any impact on the age, okay. Even 40 years age people may be getting the same salary as 30 years age, or even MBA students these days get 14 lakhs package. So age is totally not related to the salary, okay. So if that comes as a moderator, then how the health expenses will impact? Of course, the moderating variable will cause expenses, I mean, like it will cause an effect in health expenses. Say the salary is fine, when the age comes as a moderator, as the older age goes, there may be slight changes in the health expenses, okay. And how about this one, our example, okay. So Mount Carmel FDP participants having lunch is an independent variable, okay. And dependent variable is sleeping during the lecture, okay. Now, here I think I have to change this to MC, okay. Yes. So FDP participants having lunch, fine. So that is independent variable, and dependent variable is sleeping time, how much time you can sleep during the session. So it all depends on how the interactive session is, okay. So once the session is good, the sleeping time may affect. If the session is in different style which is not good, you may not like it, then sleeping time may differ again, okay. That is how the moderating comes into play, okay. Lecture style can be taken as moderating variable, okay. There are a few more examples to clearly understand moderator. Here you can see the IV is knowledge sharing, okay. Knowledge sharing nature of a person, he is trying to share the knowledge, okay. The dependent variable is job performance, especially the HR case studies or HR research. These people will be mostly dealing with such words, okay. Knowledge sharing, what is the impact of knowledge sharing on job performance, okay. So that moderator, who will be the moderator? Moderator will be job tenure, okay. Tenure of the job, how long the employee is working there, is it something like that, okay. It may become as a moderator. Now, one more example in marketing, online reviews. A lot of people give a lot of reviews on online, whether online reviews have some impact on sales. Now in this case, product category becomes a moderator, okay. Product category becomes a moderator, so it may change. Okay, it may change with product category. Okay, so that is how we have to understand. And now moderation types. There are many types of moderation analysis, but we'll see one of the simple and some little what to say, like little extra add-ons in what are the different types of moderation types. Okay, moderation analysis. This is a simple moderation where you have only one moderation. Okay, I always remember x is independent variable, y is dependent variable, w is a moderating variable. Now, why I have written model one here, I will tell you that in while explaining that in SPSS. Okay, when we do some analysis, that time I'll explain you in SPSS what is the reason for writing model one here. Okay, so there is one more type of moderation where you have two independent moderators. In this model, you had only one moderator. In the second model, you will have two independent moderators. And there will be a case in some cases where you may have combined interactive moderators. Okay, like I told you, interaction effect, right? So combined effect of some moderators may also have some impact on changing the relationship towards of x towards y. Okay, now most of the people gets confused. Okay, a lot of confusion comes when we talk about mediation and moderation. Okay, so how do we differentiate that? Criteria to differentiate between mediation variable. How do we select which is mediation and which is moderation? Please read this statement. This is a very simple statement. Mediator must be the causal result of IV and causal antecedent of TB. Okay, that means when you are trying to perform mediation analysis, the variable will be called as mediating variable when it has some relationship with independent variable. That is, independent variable causing the effect on mediating, then mediating will further cause effect on dependent variable. Okay, now let us take this example. Okay, this below given example. Exercise is your independent variable, weight loss is your dependent variable. Now tell me the first one, calorie intake. Calorie intake. Okay, will that be taken as mediating or moderating? You have to answer me. You can message here or you can comment. Okay, now caloric intake will be taken as mediator or moderator. Anybody? See, you have to think whether there is a relationship where the independent variable is affecting the mediating, and that mediating will lead to further weight loss. Now look at the weight loss. Dependent variable is weight loss. Exercise. A person is exercising, okay, and it goes to calorie intake. Caloric intake will be a mediating variable because exercise will have significant impact, because the more you exercise, the more you will eat. Okay, your diet will definitely change, or you may eat some extra protein foods. Okay, those who go to gym, they may know it. So definitely there is a relationship between exercising and caloric intake, and further caloric intake will definitely affect your weight. Either it may be positive or negative. Okay, mostly in case positive, that is you may have weight loss because you are taking a caloric intake, you are dieting and you are exercising. Of course there will be three of them having pakka what we say, like a proper relationship. Okay, exercise leads to caloric intake, caloric intake leads to weight loss. So there is a relationship. In this case it becomes mediating. Now well-being, exercise, well-being, weight loss, of course that will also come under this thing, mediating. Now what about gender? See, whether you exercise or not, with gender is not going to get affected. If you are male, you are male. If you are female, if you will be female. Okay, so whether exercising will really have a causal effect on gender, logically it will not have. Okay, age, of course age will not have any effect. Whether you exercise or not, the day you are born, your day count started, your age started. Okay, the 1 day old, we say 1 month old, or say age will never stop. It keeps on going on days to time, right? So like that, you have to think and compare. You can cross check with my previous examples of moderator whether it really comes with that logic or not. Okay, and what about the last one, prior weight? Now, whether you exercise now or whether you don't exercise, it will definitely, whatever the prior weight will definitely not count in your exercise. Okay, that will have no relationship, because after exercise only you can actually have some weight loss or something. So in that case, you have to select this properly. Okay, whether prior weight, whether exercise will lead to prior weight or what? It will definitely not. It will lead to the recent weight only. If you are exercising today, what is the weight after exercise or tomorrow only, not the prior weight. Okay, like that you have to think and decide on mediating and moderating variable. Okay, and moving to the further mediation. Before moving to mediation, I just want to show one hands-on how moderation is done in these days. Okay, right. Using Hayes process. Okay, how to do moderation analysis using Hayes process. Yes. My SPSS screen is visible, I hope. Yes. So first, what we'll do, how to perform simple moderation using Hayes process. Okay. So here, what is independent variable and dependent variable? Independent variable is consumer inertia. That is how consumer is involved with the product, how aware or how clear he is about the particular product. Okay, and there is one more independent variable. Okay, which is in statistics we call as covariate also. Okay, this is also one more independent variable, service satisfaction. Repeat purchase, that is like loyalty, whether the person is repeating the purchase is a dependent variable. Okay, now moderator is social media influence. Okay, social media influence is taken as a moderator in this study, right? Now, how to perform moderation, simple moderation using Hayes process? So I already told you how to install the Hayes process. The website link and all I shared to you. In the sense, I will share that PDF. You can perform like that. Okay, analyze regression process. Okay, so you can click on the process. You can see here, I told you Y refers to dependent variable, X refers to independent variable. This box belongs to mediator. Okay, mediating variables will come in this box. Covariates is nothing but the independent variables only, but in between them they will not have any what to say, mediating or moderating variables in between them. Okay, so that is one, and the moderating will come here. Okay, I told you this is referred as W, and if you are including one more moderation, that will be called as Z. Okay, now this is all about this. Now, how to perform this? Okay, so I told you my first independent variable is this one, consumer inertia. So I'm sending it to X variable. Social media influence is my moderator. So my moderator I'll take here. Okay, then repeat purchase is my dependent variable. I'll put it in the Y column. Now, slightly go back to the moderation types. I told you like what is the reason I'm writing model 1 here? In the Hayes process, okay, there are so many numbers in the model, right? You can see here in the screen 1, 2, 3, and it goes up to 50, 60, up to 92. Okay, there is specific reasons when to select model 1, model 2. So model 1 is for simple moderation. When you have only a single variable as moderating, okay, that time you will select model number 1, right? If you are selecting this different number and performing moderation, moderation will not work. Okay, there is a specific number given. I will also show you the book. In fact, I will share you that book where Andrew F. Hayes has clearly written about how to do mediation, how to do moderation in step-by-step manner, because he is the one who gave this SPSS add-on. Okay, his team is the one who built this add-on extension in SPSS, and he has really given a very strong book on it. Just before going to the analysis, I just wanted to show that book. I have that e-copy. I'll share it to you. Andrew F. Hayes. Okay. Moderating. Yeah. You can see this. Amazon is having this, but I have the e-copy. I have the old version. This is, I think, yeah, this is also old version. Okay, but the price is too high. But anyway, this is the book which I was talking about. You can see here. So if you have college library, you can cross check. Yeah, this is the book I have. This one. Okay. So introduction to mediation, moderation, and conditional process analysis, a regression based approach. For SEM analysis, for other structure equation modeling, there are mostly we refer Harrod, okay, Hensler, there are different authors, but for regression based mediation or moderation, this is one of the book. This is one of the best book, and based on this book only, this process and whatever we are doing is right now is completely explained in that book. I have referred that book, and that is highly followed by all business research and social science research people. That particular book. Okay, so you can read that book. Its e-copy is available. You can read that. Okay, so model 1 belongs to moderation. Okay, simple moderation. You can see here model 1 belongs to simple moderation. When you have 2 moderation, you have to select model 2. Okay, similarly model 3, when you can select when you have interacting moderating variable. Okay, similarly you can see here model 4 is for simple mediation when you have one mediation. Okay, model 5 is done in case of mediation with moderated direct path, when you have two things at a time, one mediation as well as moderation. That time you have to select model 5. So like that, all details I have given in this slide, I'll share it to you. You can slowly read that. Okay, so right now we'll go back to the analysis. This is what we were working on. So this is a simple moderator, right? So model 1, moderator variable we selected, independent, dependent variable. Okay, then click on the options. Okay, in options we have to select if you want to visualize the interaction effect. Most of the Scopus papers, you can see they would have shown the visualization. Okay, and you can select one more option, that is this is enough. I think the rest of the thing, I don't think there is any requirement. And one more thing, in the right side here, probe interaction, we always go with p value less than 0.05, and conditioning values you have to select mean plus minus standard deviation and +1 standard deviation. Okay, I think that is enough, and click OK, continue, and OK. Okay, this is what you have to do it, and the interpretation is very simple and straightforward, just similar to the regression. How do we interpret that? This is how your output will be. Okay, if there is an error, it will not process. Okay, it will straight away give you a message as error. Yes, now there is some error. Yes, it says variable names should not be more than 8 characters. Okay, no problem. what we can do is, again, we go to the analyze, go to the process. Here, long variable names we have to enable, because by default, it will not accept a long text name of variables. Okay, so just click on this long variable names, accept this, click continue and press OK. Now it will work. Click on. Yes. So I don't know whether in screen it is visible. One minute. Is it visible? These texts are visible? Okay. I think now it's visible, right? Is my text are visible in Zoom? I mean, like zoomed version? No, right? Can you able to see that? Is my screen is looking in Zoom? Can you able to read the text, ma'am? Hello? Anybody can respond? Shailaja ma'am, is my screen visible? Is my Zoom is working?
Yes, sir.
This magnifier zoom is visible, ma'am? No, right? Because
It,
it will be.
it,
Yes, it's visible, visible.
Okay.
yes, it is visible, sir.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
So here you can see first output. It explains what is your y, what is your x, and what is your w. Okay. So here our moderating is social media influence, and our dependent variable is repeat purchase. Okay. Now we are actually performing moderation, right? So the first interpretation is all about similar to regression. Okay. This is same table which you see in the regression output, right? Constant values, first independent variable, second independent. Now what you have to check whether there is a moderation effect or not. First thing, you have to check whether this int1. What is mean by int1? Consumer, that is consumer consciousness into social media influence, the moderator. Is there a significance? Yes, of course, there is a significance interaction effect. Okay. Now, how do you confirm that again? You can check this test highest order value of unconditional interaction, x into w. There is a value is less than 0.05. That means there is a moderating effect. The social media influence is moderating the customer repeat purchase. Okay. Yes. And one more thing you have to confirm here is yes, that is how you interpret the moderation. And one more visualization, you have to copy and paste this. That is little complex process. I'll just show one time. You have to double click on this. Okay. And you can see here data list. Okay. Data list, you just need to copy from here. Okay. You have to right click, copy, and then go to the file. If you want to visualize that moderation, you can use this. Okay, go to new syntax. Here you have to paste that. Okay, then select this all and press the green button. So what happens is when you select the green button, there is one more one more window gets created up. Here you have to go to graph and legacy dialogues, line chart. Okay, multiple line chart. This is not necessary just for our purchase. Okay, you have to send the dependent variable here. Okay, and your independent variable here, and your moderating variable in the defined lines. Okay, and click OK. You will get these lines. If you see any moderation paper, they would have shown this kind of graphs. Okay, so you have to just interpret the same thing. You can just what to say, you can take this photocopy, what to say, screenshot and paste it in the paper. Okay, now this blue color, when the social media influence is low, there is a low consumer consciousness. With low consumer consciousness, social media influence is low. Okay, the colors are given at SMA value of 4. What is the impact on repurchase? You can see this y-axis here. You can see here, this is the repurchase. This is the x, that is independent variable. At moderation value of SM, that is 3, that is social media influence. This will be the point. Okay, at higher social media influence, there is a high repeat purchase. Mean of repeat purchase is higher. Okay, it increases based on increase in social media influence. So that is why it is called, there is a moderation effect. The social media influence is moderating. Okay, so like that you can interpret for simple moderation. Okay, any doubts so far for simple moderation? Okay, similarly, when you have 2 or more moderators, you have to just select the same thing, like analyze. Okay, regression, go here. You can just add it here, and remember, you have to change the model number. Okay, because when you have 2 independent moderators like this, okay, you have to change the model number 2. Same procedure you can perform. You can click OK and the same interpretation. For moderation, the interpretation is same. Okay, there is no difference. Right. So that you can practice. Okay, and model 3 also you can practice. Let us slightly move on to the mediation. Okay, the most of the papers, most of the social science papers, more than moderation, mediation really plays a major role in most of the research, most of the social science research. Okay, now what is meant by mediation effect? Mediation variable explains the relationship between independent variable and dependent variable. Okay, that means the x is causing an m and m is causing a y. It doesn't mean that independent variable is not having a relationship with y, but it is the relationship will be high based on x will be causing a mediation will be further resulting in y. Okay, that is what we saw in these differences, right? Mediator must be a causal result of IV and causal antecedent of DV. Right. So what are the examples of mediation? Okay, so you can see here environmental consciousness. Okay, environmental consciousness is an independent variable. Organic food purchase is a dependent variable. Right. Now, attitude, of course, attitude will definitely change this relationship. That will definitely act as a mediator. I am environmental conscious person. Okay, and whether I purchase organic food or not, my attitude will definitely play a mediating role. If I am highly environmental conscious, my attitude will be positive towards organic food purchase. Okay, if my environmental conscious is low, my attitude will be low towards organic food purchase. Okay, so that will definitely, the consciousness will definitely affect the attitude. It all depends on the consciousness that will affect my attitude. My attitude will further affect the purchase of organic food or not. Now coming to one more example of HR, transformational leadership. Okay. Dependent variable is employee job satisfaction. Now, trust on supervisor. Okay. So transformation leadership is one of the independent variable, like how the leader is, like how transformational, how flexible is the leader. It all again depends on what is the trust on the supervisor. Okay, there is a relationship between trust. Okay, then trust will further leads to job satisfaction. Having a flexible leader will not only guarantee that it can be trusted. Okay, so definitely that trust will play a mediating role here. One more example, transformational leadership. Okay, job performance. Then who will mediate here? Definitely work engagement will affect. It all depends on the leader, how he is handling the organization. Okay, whether it leads to work engagement, it will have some impact on work engagement, and work engagement will further lead to job performance. Okay, then we have one more example, organizational commitment. Okay, turnover intention. Now, what will be the mediating role here? It all depends on again culture of the organization. So organizational commitment of an employee will have a relationship towards organization culture. So that will further result in employee turnover. If the culture is bad, there will be high turnover. The culture is good, commitment will also be higher and turnover will also be less. So that is how we have to select the mediation. This is how the interpretation goes. Okay, and here IV is perceived usefulness. Dependent variable is 5G technology. Okay, nowadays 5G technology has come. Now, what will mediate here? Of course, trust factor. Some people may trust that 5G will be high speed. Some people may have low trust towards 5G speed because price will be higher for that, and also people will doubt whether really is it a 5G. Okay, whether the expected speed will be I'll get my expected speed or not. So that will also play a major role. Okay, so before going further on the mediation analysis, I have to explain one important thing here. This path is called A. Okay, this part is called B, and this part is called C, right? Okay. Now, if you look at this example, the perceived usefulness independent variable direct relationship with 5G technology adoption is called, C is called here direct effect. Okay, direct effect. Okay, I will write it as DE in short. Okay. C is equal to direct effect, right? Now, what about A? A is equal to a path between IV, okay, IV towards mediating, MV, okay, mediating variable, right? Then further, B is equal to mediating variable towards DV, okay? Now, this IV to DV. Okay. Now, what would be the indirect effect? Indirect effect would be like this. Okay. So indirect effect is equal to towards IV, indirect effect of IV IV to DV will be A plus B path. Okay, that combined of those two paths will lead to indirect effect A plus B. Okay, like that it will be the C value will be different and A B path will be different. So that thing you have to understand. Okay, now if this direct and indirect effect is clear, then we'll move on to some models. Okay, what are the types of mediation? Okay, this is a simple mediation where you have only one mediation in the middle. Okay, one mediation variable, and here you have mediation with moderation. Okay, there will be one mediating variable as well as one moderating variable. Okay, so this is one more type. There is one more majorly used in social science research these days is serial mediation. Serial mediation is you have continuous M1, M2, that is 2-3 mediations. Okay, more than one mediation variable. Parallel mediation. Parallel mediation is like a serial mediation. To understand serial mediation, X will lead to M1, M1 will lead to M2, then M1, M2 will further lead to Y. That is serial mediation. Wherein parallel mediation is totally independent mediating variable. That is X, M1, Y. Okay. Let me explain with them. See, in parallel mediation, M1 and M2 are not related. Okay, they are not connected here. So that's why that is they both are individual. They are mediators, but they are what to say individual from each other. Wherein if you see in case of the previous one, here X will lead to M1, M1 will have an impact on M2, that is mediating two variable, then mediating two variable will have an impact on dependent variable. Okay, in that case it is called serial mediation. Okay, when you have two independent mediating variable, that is called parallel mediation. Okay, and we have moderated mediation. Okay, this is also nowadays many research papers they use this moderated mediation. Okay, which is nothing but one of the paths, that is X to M, from independent variable to mediating variable, there will be a moderating variable, that is W. Okay, so when the moderating variable comes in the path A, what is meant by path A path? A path is nothing but this one. I explained you here, right? This is A path, B path, and C path. Okay, so that is how you have to remember. When it is in A path, you will select model 7. Okay, when it is in two paths like A path and C path, you will go for model 8 in the SPSS Hayes process. Okay, model 4, model 7, model 8, and model 14 is used when you have mediation and moderation in the B path. Okay, these details you can read it. Model 15, model this is, I think this picture is wrong. 15 is used for all moderation will be having in all three paths. Okay, so that I will change and send it to you. And a process model will be 58 used when you have moderated mediation types, like you have two paths A and B. Okay, one moderator and two paths. Okay, like this there are many examples, so we'll try to solve in SPSS so that you will have an understanding. Okay, so most of the cases will be dealing with model 4. Okay, model 4 and sometimes model 5. The serial mediation, you can procedure for everything is same. Interpretation is also same for everything. Okay, only thing is you have to carefully select the model number. Okay, we'll do model 4 now. Okay, right. So you can one minute. this data. Yes. Now, what is this data? This is again a very simple data. You can see here, purchase intention is your dependent variable. Consciousness of customer is IV. Okay. And personal innovativeness. Okay. Personal innovativeness is how innovative a person is. Okay. That will become your mediator, first mediator. Okay. And second mediator is perceived benefit. Now, we'll do first simple mediation, then we'll come back to the serial mediation. Okay, the two, I think that will be sufficient for to understand, and most of the application will be with this one. Okay, most of the time in research papers we'll be applying this parallel mediation as well as simple mediation. Okay, so same process, go to analyze. Okay, regression, linear, sorry, analyze, regression, process of Andrew Hayes. Okay, now mediating mediation analysis starts with model number. Which model number? You can cross check the note. It is model number 4. Okay, in Hayes process. So you have to select the model 4 here. Correct. So if you select the model 1 and if you apply, everything will be correct. You will be selecting your dependent variable correctly, independent variable also correctly. But if you are not keeping this model number correctly, then it will not execute. It will not show the results. Okay. So this is my independent variable, and this is one of the mediator. Okay. I am doing first for one mediator. Okay, right now, and I have to go to the options. Here, if you want to visualize, you can write that. Here you have to tick mark show total effect. Okay, because ultimately we want to know the total effect. And what else is required? Effect size and all not required. Anyway, even if the output comes, we may not be using it. Okay, yeah, standardized coefficients, that is important. So tick mark the standardized coefficient, and p-value less than 0.05, and mean value -1 standard deviation plus 1 standard deviation. Okay, this is the only thing. And click continue, and make sure always give this long variable okay, because sometimes we may give long variable high name, okay, big name. So just click okay. So it will take some time. Yes. So I think whether I change it to 1 or 4, that I have a doubt. I'll recheck again. Process. I think last time I kept it for 1. That is why the error is there. Okay, this is a mediator, and I forgot to change the model number. That is the reason why it is showing an error. Okay, and is there anything which I think we don't want this one, right? Interaction will not come in mediating. Okay, that is the one more reason. Only we want standardized coefficient. That is enough, right? And click OK. Yes, it has come. You can see here. It's a interpretation is very simple. You can what to say? You can take screenshot and paste it in your Word file. Okay, you can screenshot and then you can crop the image. Okay, you can crop the image and then you can keep it in your papers. How to interpret this? So we are you all know what we are dealing with. We are trying to see what is the purchase intention and consciousness of consumer whether personal innovativeness of a customer plays a mediating role or not. That is what we are trying to say. The sample size is 140 and we have these explanations here. Then further we will go down. So this is first summary. You can see here first summary, what we can understand from the first summary. The same regression thing, okay, R square. What is the R square? R square model is 0.368. Okay, so since we are having first outcome variable, it is considering as personal innovativeness. Okay, we had IVS, consumer consciousness is our IV. Okay, then we had mediating variable as personal innovativeness. Okay, then after that we had dependent variable, that is purchase intention. Okay, so like this we had a relationship A, B and C, right? Now the first model one, this model, it shows outcome variable as personal innovativeness. When this is an outcome variable, what is the result? Is this independent variable is having a significant impact or not? Same p value we have to check. Is it less than 0.05? Yes, it is less than 0.05. There is a relationship between consciousness customer in towards personal innovativeness. Okay, so like that you can interpret. So that gave us first condition valid, that independent variable should result in mediating variable. Okay, now coming down, now you can see model 2 here, model summary 2. You can see here, in this model it is considering purchase intention as output. R square value is there. Okay, now consciousness consumer, personal innovativeness, which is mediating variable. What is the significance level? Okay, they both are significant. Now still we should not say that this is having a mediation effect. Further we have to go one more round, that is one more table to confirm whether there is a mediation effect or not. Now what is that table? The next table, this one. Andrew F. Hayes says that whenever we perform the mediation analysis these days, we have to consider the bootstrap value. Now, what is meant by bootstrap? I think I forgot to explain the bootstrap. Yes. Yeah, this is the bootstrap. Bootstrap is nothing but statistical procedure that resamples a single data set. Say I have 140 samples in this particular data set which we are working. Okay, what it does is it actually takes multiple resampling of it. Okay, say 2, 4, 5, like that numbers. It will repeatedly draw random numbers of variables and then try to replace it with some different values and then finally give an answer. Okay, it is a statistical procedure. It has some equations. I don't want to get into that, but that is the procedure these days we are using for mediation analysis. That is called Hayes process of bootstrapping mediation analysis. Now where we have to check actually in this, after checking those top two tables, we have to straightly move into the bootstrapped one. You can see here in the bottom, I'm not getting the pen here. You can see here, our moderating variable is what? Our moderating variable is personal innovativeness. Okay, what we have to look at, bootstrapping lower limit confidence interval and bootstrapping upper limit confidence interval. Okay, whether it has complete mediation or not. This table talks about partial mediation. Okay, you can see here partially, partial, complete. Okay, so you can, I'll just clear this out. These two tables you have to refer. Now what to take here from here? What we say, like how do you say that the mediating variable is mediating effect of personal innovativeness there or not? You have to check that these values of lower limit and upper limit, Okay, the values of lower limit and upper limit of all these three, you can actually say from this first table, but you have to check this should not, these two values should not fall in a negative and positive. I want to open the PowerPoint to make you understand this better. Just a minute. Yeah, I'll just draw one extra new slide. Okay. Yeah, what I was trying to say, we had upper control limit, sorry, lower limit confidence interval, right? And upper limit confidence interval. Okay. Now, these values varies from -1 to +1. Okay. These values varies from -1 to +1. Okay. Right. Now, what you have to look at is both lower limit confidence interval and upper limit confidence interval should fall either in positive side or negative side, both. Okay, negative side. One should not have plus, the other should not have minus. Are you getting my point? In the output, there is the output. Here is the output. What we have to look at carefully here is this indirect effect of x on y. Okay, bootstrapped value. Okay, this is what is the ultimate objective, whether mediation has an effect, whether it is affecting the relationship of x and y. You can see here there is no minus sign, right? These both are in positive side. Okay, there is no minus sign. That means there is a mediation effect. Okay, there is personal innovativeness has a mediating impact on dependent variable between x and y. Okay, done. So that is about simple mediation. So ultimately in your paper, this bootstrap value should be there. Okay, the indirect effect. You can show total effect, direct effect, but the indirect effect, you have to show this bootstrap value. Okay, always remember, you have to show with, here there will be no p values. You have to take a decision based on upper confidence interval and the lower confidence interval of bootstrap value. Other tables you can just give interpretation, but confirmation of presence of mediation, you have to confirm with this table. Okay, that's all about mediation, simple mediation. So any doubts you can ask me. If not, there is one more slightly complex model, that is moderated mediation. We'll perform one and then we'll stop our session. Any questions till now you can ask me. Or if you need any break, I think we are almost done. We are just 10 minutes ahead. I mean, like we have just 15 minutes more. If any questions, it will be highly appreciated. Any doubts? Any questions, sir?
Participants can post your questions in case you have any questions to ask. So the first question seems to be up on the chat window.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am, is this video recorded, ma'am?
Yes, sir, it is getting recorded.
Yeah.
You want to pause it for a bit?
No, not like that. Why I'm asking is, will it be shared to the participants?
It will be available on our YouTube channel for them to access, sir.
Okay, fine. So, one of the participant is asking about like how did you create multi-kinetic statistics table? I think it's a very simple. I'll just show here. 1 minute. Yeah. 1 minute. Yes. Oh yeah. It will be available in YouTube. How to perform multicolority I have shown already. Okay, I'll just show how this multicolority table. Yeah. Yeah. This one multicolority table. It's very simple. You take, suppose, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. In this table, there are 15 independent variables. So take one independent variable as dependent and then perform and write those values towards others. Similarly, take MSC as a dependent variable and then perform with others. Whatever the values you get in the table, you have to write here. That's simply manually, just I copy pasted in Excel, and then from Excel I edited it. Okay, so that is how you can do it for writing. How to write an hypothesis for mediation and moderation? Yes, we can. I'll also share some of the papers, like how they are writing hypothesis for it. Okay, in our example, I think which example we have seen? We have seen yeah. Our hypothesis one in this case will be independent variable, that is price. Customer consciousness is having a significant relationship towards purchase intention. My second hypothesis will be I can write it as there is a mediating impact. There is a mediating impact of personal innovativeness, okay, between price conscious, that is consciousness of customer, and purchase intention. Like that, I can write my hypothesis statement. Okay, you have to write it in that way, and statistically you can write it in the paper. Okay, the next question is 1 minute. Moderation, positive moderation is it increases the strength of relationship between independent variable and dependent variable. Okay, negative moderation means it decreases the strength. Okay, it decreases the strength of relationship between independent and dependent variable. Okay, actually the definition of moderation stands for strength of relationship. Okay, moderating variable can be yes, of course, moderating variable can be categorical as well. Same procedure. Whatever I have showed you in moderation and mediation process using process, everything is same. Whether the variable is categorical or in scale, doesn't matter. Interpretation remains the same. Okay, just you have to see the table and you have to interpret. Yes. Yeah, then I think other questions. Yeah, scale. See, in India, mostly we are using 5 scale, but today's date, I think for advanced statistics level, if you are performing SEM, it would be 7 or above scale is recommended. Probably these days people have started using 7 scale, but most of the time in India, in any research, we use 5-point Likert scale. So I think it all depends. If you want 7 Likert scale, you can. Yeah, in case of yeah, education, occupation, income, and what age you should consider as mediation variable. Okay. Yes, mediation variable. I'll share this slide. I'll share with all the participants. Okay. The simple understanding is it has to be decided by the researcher. Researcher has to decide on why he or she is taking that mediating variable. Always you can apply this logic that always remember independent variable should have a causal impact on mediating variable, which will further have an impact on dependent variable. Okay, that is how you will decide on mediating and moderating differences. Okay, I think I showed some examples in the beginning. to just differentiate between those two. Where is that? Somewhere here. Yes. In this video, you can select any of those as a independent, mediating variable. Okay. So caloric intake, you have to just make sure whether independent variable will have an impact on this mediating variable. Here in this case, exercise will not have any impact on age and gender. If you are born as a male, you are a male. We cannot change that. Whether you exercise or not, that is not going to change your gender or your age. Okay, so that is how you have to decide on mediating and moderating. And one more best way to identify our mediating and moderating is literature review. Just for your information, just an extra add-on, you can follow the format of literature in this format. You can see here. See here, you can follow this format, author and year. Who is the author? What context is he talking about? Okay. Whether he is talking about some health issues or some social issues. Okay, my paper is a little in marketing. Okay, so I would have taken like that. In social science, most of the theories will be like theory of planned behavior. Okay, theory of reasoned action. That is all psychological concepts we'll be dealing with. And one column you can write what is the methodology. Okay, how they have done, how they have collected data. This is not required. This table is not required. Finally, you can write the results. Okay, this I have taken for some other purpose. Okay, those who are in the research beginning of the research, like 1 or 2 years. The topic of author is, the author name is Andrew F. Hayes. Andrew F. Hayes. Yeah, one more thing I just wanted to share the screen. That is this one. Yeah, these are the references. You can see here. These are the references of this book. I told you, Guilford publication, 2017. Now 2019 is also available. Okay, this is one more version. I think the third version is available right now. Okay, and these are the people whose name you will be hearing for the past 1 week or so. Since the day you started learning data reliability, validity. He is the person, Andrew F. Hayes. We call them as they are celebrities of social science and business research. Okay, without mentioning their name, we cannot write any paper, especially in statistical interpretation. I hope you remember Cronbach alpha. I think day 3 you learned about reliability. I don't know whether Fornell-Lacker discriminant analysis was taught. Okay, Hare et al. I think you might be hearing this name for a long time. Okay, so far today, I think most of the contents we have got from this author, that is Andrew F. Hayes. Okay, so they are the main authors for behind these concepts. Okay, I mean, in explaining how to use process. And what else the questions are asked. Okay, the other questions are, okay, kindly share the PPT too. Yeah, I will share the PPT. Yes, the conceptual model, how to decide conceptual model. Again, it all depends on literature. The more literature, the specific literature you do, the better you will get an idea. Yes, this, I think ma'am told that this recording will be available in the YouTube. You can watch in YouTube. And I think we are ending the session. So other things, process remains same. Okay, you just need to change the model numbers. As I told you, you can see here, if you are having serial moderation or mediation both in the model, you can use these models. Okay, number you have to change the SPSS process. What number am I talking about? I'm talking about these numbers here. Okay, these all depends on these model numbers. The details of model numbers are given here. If you just type Hayes process mediation models in Google Scholar. Very first result itself, you will get this. Okay, you can easily download from there. It's not like that you have to search for this slide. It is available. Everything is available in Google Scholar. Okay, right. So these are the authors to whom I have referred. So that's all about mediation and moderation. I think we have mostly seen mediation, simple moderation. Advanced mediation moderation, there is nothing much. You just need to change the model number. That's it. You change the model number and place your mediators and moderators. That's it. I think we'll stop here, ma'am. I'll share the slide. Is there anything else? Somebody has asked, like, can we create our own model? No, any model you are creating, you have to create based on the literature review support. You can create your own independent variables. Create in the sense you have to take reference. Without reference paper, they will not accept. You have to have references. Yes, when we use dummy variable, we will keep one variable as reserved. That is called a reference variable. So whatever the results appear about other independent variable categories, that we have to compare towards the reference category. The values, if they are in minus, that means they are lower than the other reference variable. Okay, like that you can do it. And mostly, if you are beginning in the research, kindly download SPSS higher version, above 25 or at least above 23. Okay, don't use below 23 because there are a lot of advantages. I mean, there are a lot of add-ins available in latest version 25 and 26. I think most of the social science colleges, they will have definitely SPSS. If they have not upgraded, you can ask them to give above 23 version. Okay, there you can practice much and it will be very helpful for the papers. Pearson coefficient, it is I cannot say exactly like that, but that minus plus one, I think we have to see the upper control limit and lower control limit. That is how it is explained in the book which Andrew F. Hayes has written. He has clearly mentioned that in the book. It should be like that. If not, I'll just show the glimpse of that book as well. Yes, this is that book. Guilford Press publication, Introduction to Mediation, Moderation and Conditional Process, a regression based approach. Most of the Hare et al.'s explanation is related to SEM, but for regression based, I think this book is predominantly used these days. Okay, 2017, from that time, 2014 onwards, they have started following this book. And if you are referring this book and properly analyzing the data without SEM, I'm talking about without structuring.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Yeah, without SEM analysis, you can publish a paper. That's all for today. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Shailaja ma'am, is there?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Saranya ma'am. Babu sir.
Yes, madam. I think almost answered for all the questions.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think we can propose the vote of thanks, ma'am. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So, I, Dr. Shailaja, on behalf of St. Paul's College, feels a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on the 6th day FDP on data analysis using SPSS with interpretation for social sciences. I foremost thank our knowledgeable speaker, Dr. K.A. Azrar Ahmed. Sir, I remember a quote by Neil Armstrong that research is creating new knowledge. I am sure that this session has created new knowledge among all the participants. Thank you so much, sir, for your informative and interactive session.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
thank our chief patron, revered Father Dr. Thomas, Principal, St. Paul's College, patron, revered Father Dr. Sajid Siryak, Vice Principal, St. Paul's College, revered Father Arokya Swami, Administrator, St. Paul's College. I also thank the advisory committee, Sister Dr. Arpana, Principal, Mount Carmel College, Dr. Kavita G. Singh, Research Director, Mount Carmel College, Dr. Suma Singh, Dean of Humanities, Mount Carmel College. I extend a vote of appreciation and thanks to our FDP convener, Dr. Babu V, IQAC Coordinator, St. Paul's College, Ms. Saranya Francis, IQAC Secretary, St. Paul's College. Last but not the least, I thank all the participants for your active participation on both Zoom platform and YouTube live stream. Your question answer session shows that you were very active and actively listening and involved in the session. So thank you so much. Have a great evening. Over to you, sir. Over to you, sir. Babu, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, madam.
Thank
Thanks
you,
a lot.
ma'am. Sorry, sir. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
having a little bit of trouble with the connectivity.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Shailaja ma'am, for your words of gratitude. Thank you also to you for being present to introduce our guest as well as to conclude the session. Dear participants, feedback link is up, as you can see both on our chat windows as well as the screen. Those of you who are joining us through YouTube can please use the scan option as well as the link that is being currently pinned onto the chat window. Babu sir, over to you. Thank you.
Yes. That's all, madam. Thank you. Thank you very much for the. So thank you very much, Dr. Asrar Ahmad.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Great commitment. Thank you very much. And sir, you can just end.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Research is something which never ends, sir. So it always creates a new knowledge.
So research is all search of new knowledge, no?
Yes, sir.
See, one of the main condition of research is to falsify the previous research.
Yes.
So that is unless that's a main condition, no? So it is
yes, sir.
Falsify the previous one so that you can find the
Yes.
next one. Yeah.
Yes.
Salida madam, you can end the session. No problem. You can relax, madam. We'll be there. You can end the session.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, myself
Okay,
and
sir.
Melvin is there. We will take care of any technical issues. So we'll
Yes,
be
sir.
there other 10 minutes. Then we'll wind
Okay.
up. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you,
Thanks
sir.
a lot.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.
Yeah, have a nice